Hey everyone, this is Anthony from the Console Gaming Crew, and we could not be happier to announce that we are now part of the Boss Rush Podcast Network and are featured on BossRushGames.com. BossRushGames.com is a place where you can find up-to-date news articles, blogs, and podcasts about video games. In addition to that, there is a growing collection of podcasts in not just the gaming community, but other communities as well. We are honored to be part of such a great network of podcasters, so please stop by and give everyone a listen. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Yo, crew members, what it be?
Hey-o! Oh!
Oh!
Yeah, some stank on it every now and again. Every now and again we put some
stank.
Every now and again we gotta put some stank on it. I'm just
what's
happy.
going on, peoples? How we living?
I'm just overall happy because, like, slowly but surely, all of my sports are starting to come back. So, and that's a big thing for me, man. When all sports seasons are over and you have that like 3-month layoff with nothing, it's crazy. And now we got the Fly Guys back. The Sixers are about to start Monday, I think. The Eagles.
Sixers aren't that far off.
The Eagles have already been back, for better or for worse. It's something. And, like, you know, I'm still riding the high and the low from that game last night.
That was dude. I mean, like, dude, I was texting you, you know what I mean, about that when the game was going on. I'm like, it's not that it was a bad game. You mean, dude, everybody played solid. It's just Hart didn't hug the post like he was supposed to.
Every now and again, you get those games where you don't necessarily play. The score doesn't seem to reflect how you played. Now, am I saying that they played so good that they had no business being down 4-2? No, but they played good enough. It was one of those games where it's like you may only have 3 or 4 mistakes, but somehow every single one of those mistakes ends up in your net. And
yeah, there were some really weird angled shots that that ended up going in that I just didn't like.
But the comeback at the end, like to salvage a point out of that game is like a little moral victory, I guess.
Oh yeah. I'll run with that.
It was an exciting home opener. It was exciting getting to watch it with my son for the first time, which was a good and a bad idea because we only let him watch one period. He got so fucking overstimulated, so juiced. I mean, so where in my head I'm like, realistically, in my brain, I'm smart enough to know that this isn't about hockey. It's because the screen's bright and there's a bunch of shit. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's so excited to see
ice.
hockey.
The ice is freaking like blinding white. So yeah.
That contrast is what they're all about at that age. So, but he was so like he was going nuts and like yelling at the screen. At one time, it was hilarious. The refs made a terrible call, and he just went and I was like, yeah, dude, I feel the same way.
Love
but
that.
He got so overstimulated that it took probably like 25 minutes of Alex just hanging in the pocket to get him to calm down enough to like go to sleep.
Yeah,
like he was wailing. I was like, Jesus Christ, we need to not fucking do that again. Not for a while, or at least not for that long.
Other than some good old hockey and basketball coming back soon, what else we got going? What we talking about today?
Oh, what are we talking about today? So when we watched the Nintendo Direct a few weeks ago, part of that was us finding out that there would later on be an Animal Crossing Direct.
Yes,
which got me very excited because I was like, "Ooh, if they're going to dedicate a whole Direct to that, this has to be substantial." You know, because normally they just tell you like little bits here and there, and that Animal Crossing Direct has landed. It landed, I believe, yesterday or maybe the day before. I'm not sure, but the Animal Crossing Direct finally hit, and boy, was there a lot. And the perfect, and I'll tell you what made this perfect is with how much there was. Man, it was the perfect time for my wife to get involved because we watched the Animal Crossing Direct together, and she was just like, I have my laptop here. Do you want me to type up these notes for you so you don't have to do it on your phone? I was like, sure. Looking at these notes, my wife is so damn efficient. There is not a single part of this Direct information that you're not going to get right now. So everyone can thank my wife for this one because she typed all this out in a way that I can't miss a thing.
Nice.
So let's get started.
Please.
Let's get started. So version 2.0, and this is a free update. All of this that I'm about to get to right now is free, available November 5th, 2021, which they made a point to say that this will be the last major free content update for Animal Crossing New Horizons. So this will be the last free update. I don't know if that means they're going to be working on a new game or if they're going to be working towards more paid DLCs, but this will be the last free one. So starting off, you have new spots and features. I believe, Wes, you talked about this before, one of the things that you heard about, which was the Roost.
Yes.
So you now have the Roost with Brewster in the museum.
Apparently it's a coffee shop.
Yep, you can go. You can stroll in with 200 bells, get yourself a cup of coffee. If you have some amiibos, you can invite characters to the Roost to share coffee. Multiple players can visit at the same time. You also now have Captain's Boat Tours, where you can pay 1,000 Nook miles, and the captain will take you on a boat tour to visit mysterious islands. He'll hang out. Yep, he'll hang out by your pier, take you to mysterious islands. He'll serenade you along the way. It's similar to when you travel by plane, like to different mystery islands and stuff like that. And with this, you can encounter new plants, different times of day, different seasons. So when you go on this tour, it can take you to a completely different place at a completely different time. So that's cool.
Okay, real quick with that, I'm looking at an article from apptrigger.com, talking about everything with the Animal Crossing Direct.
Okay.
It looks like you also will be able to climb vines to be able to climb up walls.
Yep. Absolutely.
That was something that I'm just now looking. I'm going, oh damn.
Oh dang. So I don't know if anyone did or did not do this part, or if they even remember it. But do you remember Harv's Island? Did you ever get there? Harv's the photo guy.
Yeah, hippie dog.
Yeah. So Harv's Island is undergoing some changes. Harv wants to create a plaza with all sorts of shops with his friends Harriet. You donate bells to the cause, and then eventually island visitors like Sahara, who I believe does like the rugs and the carpets and shit like that.
Yep.
And Kix will set up shop there. So that way they'll have like a permanent spot. You won't have to just have them roaming around and waiting for them to show up.
Well,
and
that's
shit like
good.
That. Yep. Reese and Cyrus will help customize ready-made furniture that you can't customize on your own. You also will now have Katrina the fortune teller, who will tell you your fortune for the day. And Harriet may actually teach you some newly added hairstyles. I believe there's 8 new hairstyles that are coming into the game, which is something people were having a problem with before, myself included. It was like there just wasn't enough variety of the hairstyles, which sounds crazy for a game like this, but...
So one of the things that I saw when it came to the hairstyles was a lot of people of color were very, very happy because there's one that looks like it's waves.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Waves in the hair, and it's just like you don't normally see that type of representation in like a Nintendo Mii world type setting. Yeah. So having something like that is actually pretty awesome.
Something else they've added, which is now, it seems like they're joining the trying to get people, up and moving around thing that's going on with games now, because now you have group stretching at the plaza where you can participate using Joy-Con button or motion controls. The directions will appear on the screen, where you can stretch with visiting friends or when you visit Friends Island. So everyone kind of gathers together in the middle of the plaza, and then you have like a group stretch session where you actually use your Joy-Cons, motion controls, and you go through like a little morning stretching routine.
Yeah, apparently that's a big thing in Japan normally. You know what I mean? To go ahead and do these stretches.
That's why they're in much better shape than us.
Probably.
Yeah. So this is something that, and again, before I continue, I want to say that Animal Crossing is something, it's a great game. I've said this a million times now. Where it suffered, where it succeeded and where it suffered both at the same time, you're gonna have to hear me out, is the fact that it came out right before the pandemic went in like full swing, like when we went in full shutdown mode. And it was great because it was a perfect game to play during a pandemic because it was easy to pick up and play and you can go, but it also hindered it because you were able to play it so much that, the time it took to get to that point where there wasn't much more to do came a lot quicker. If you just got Animal Crossing and there was no shutdown, none of that, and it was like any other game that maybe you played either an hour or two a day or every couple days, the longevity would have been there. It wouldn't have felt like you got to a point so quickly where there wasn't much new stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're putting in certain things now that are making people like my wife want to go back and play because she put in so many hours, and now she's like, oh, this definitely is going to have me coming back is nice. So,
and also it doesn't help that it's free.
Doesn't hurt that it's free, you mean?
Jesus.
You said it doesn't help. I was like, oh, it definitely helps.
Oh, man. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So one of the things that she was the most excited about because of when she plays is you now have island ordinances that can be enacted by the island representative. So such as early bird, you can make all residents active earlier in the morning, or night owl, bell. So for someone like, Alex, who would play earlier in the morning before work, most of the residents were asleep. So there was nothing she could do with them now. So now you can make them wake up earlier, so you can do things you want to do depending on the time of day that you're able to play. So that's a smart feature that they've added.
Definitely.
The Tom Nook services have been upgraded. There's now more exterior options available to modify your home's exterior to match your island, and now storage expansion. People have been talking and wanting storage expansion like a motherfucker because of how long this game has been out. So storage expansions have increased. Previously, 2,400 was the max. You now have 3 more expansions. I believe it goes 3,200, 4,000, and then all the way up to 5,000 max capacity. So there's a lot more stuff you can hold.
That's hefty, man.
Yep. There are now these are the spots that appeal to people like, my wife, that love the decorating aspect of the game. Maybe people that play like stuff like Sims a lot, which is basically kind of the same thing. So new items available for Nook Mile redemption. You can now get a Pro Decorating license. The Pro Decorating license, you can get lighting and seal decor that can be added to each room. You can actually hang shelves now. You can hang lights from, the ceiling and stuff like that, rather than just having everything have to face the walls. You can now set a wall as an accent wall. So when you put up wallpaper and stuff like that, rather than it all having to be in the whole room, you can pick an accent wall to look different. They're just giving more tools to people who like, that aspect of it.
Yeah, who enjoy the design aspect of the game.
Now, custom fencing in a Flash, they've made it easier to put in fencing and have also put in new styles of fence. Before I get there, there's also new reactions that they have, which are hilarious. I never cared much about the reactions. They didn't do too much for me, but for those that it appeals to, there are new reactions.
Like my daughter?
Yep. There's now the Pro Construction license, so the maximum number of bridges and inclines you can put in your island have increased to 8 and 10. So you can now have a couple more bridges and inclines. There are 9 new fence types, including park fences, block fencing, corrugated iron fencing. I think they even had like a frozen ice block fencing.
Oh,
there's
nice.
some cool looking stuff. And some of the fencing can now be customized. You can put different colors. They're really, really going ham on giving you a lot more tools to customize the island the way you want it to look. Something that captured my wife's attention, obviously, because her, is cooking is now coming to Animal Crossing. So cooking is coming to DIY recipes. You combine ingredients grown on your island and cook them. Plus, you can actually eat them. Very Breath of the Wild-esque.
I was just about to say that. That was one of the things I actually like doing in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. You can put it on a table for display, store it in your pockets to actually eat. But yeah, it's cool. So like they showed in the video that someone basically had like a little garden in the back of their house where they were growing carrots and potatoes and sugarcane and tomatoes, and you use all those things to cook some food. The camera app is also getting updated. It's going to be the Pro Camera app. So when you're shooting in handheld camera mode, the view now aligns with your eye level, so you can kind of walk around the island in your eye level and take those types of pictures.
Oh, that's going to have a really good perspective.
Absolutely. Then you can set it.
We don't get anything like that in the game yet.
We don't. You get 2 camera angles, and it's like overhead or more overhead.
Yeah. So basically,
once you're in that mode, you can also set it to tripod mode, which will give you that same level but allow you to jump in the picture as well. So that's pretty cool. Patterns previously used for customizing items can now be worn or used as flooring and wallpaper like custom designs. So that's pretty dope. So I said 8 before. It's actually 11 new hairstyles that will be added, including the ones Harriet teaches to you. 11 new reactions, waving goodbye, which is funny enough is not how normal people wave goodbye. It, like if you can see me, Wes, in the street, like this is how they wave goodbye. They go like this. I was like, wait, that's what? So it looked like that's how they wave goodbye. bouncing to music, saying cheese. The new Nook phone app Island Life 101 provides tips on enjoying your island. So they tell you different things, that you can do on your island. You can redeem miles for various items. There's more furniture. There's now a storage shed that they've added. So when your pockets fill up from the day's activities, you can put stuff in your storage shed. It connects to your home storage and can be placed pretty much anywhere on your island. So that's a big help. Saves you from having to go in and out of your house and, putting items away and shit like that. The new ABD machine, you can take bells from your account without having to actually go inside the guest services building. So it's basically, you can set the ATM up.
That's awesome.
Yep. Everything is what they're doing is it's just to make everything more easy. So, take it from 3 steps down to 2 steps down to 1 step to do certain things.
Yeah.
Other new features to Island Living. If anyone remembers KK Slider, he is the guy that shows up, I believe, on Saturdays to do a little concert on the island.
When your island gets to enough stars.
To enough stars, yep. You have more songs from KK Slider, 12 new hits, which you can also listen to from a new music box that they have as a furniture item that you can place in your house. They have now added gyroids. Gyroids are interesting. You know what a gyroid is? Have you ever seen a gyroid?
I have no idea.
A gyroid, it kind of looks like a Pokemon. I feel like I'm going to have to send you a picture of an Animal
I'm about to look it
Crossing
up right now.
Okay, you go ahead. Just Animal Crossing gyroids while I explain what they are. So, when you're walking around your island and I see Wes's face, his eyebrows are turned
The dude
up.
with the construction hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
so he's weird to me because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
Like when you get closer to him, he starts moving more. And then when you walk away, he starts going slower and slower and then eventually just stops.
Yeah. It's some wild shit. So now when you walk around your island and you see that little star-shaped hole in the ground where normally you would dig up a fossil or dig up money, stuff like that. Now, when you see something buried in the ground, it could be a gyroid fragment. You can plant and water them and they'll mature into a full gyroid overnight. They make unique sounds. You can put them together in the same area to make unique music and harmonies. You'll see more fragments after rain. They can be customized to match your room decor and atmosphere. You can change their colors. And there's different kinds. There's squeezoids, drumoids, squeakoids. There's a bunch of different gyroids. So that's a new thing that they've added. Nook's Cranny will now have new furniture types available, like ceiling decor furniture available that's never been seen before. They have something called an amazing machine, which just looks like a generator, but is what it is. They also had one of the new things that would be one of the first things that you and I would probably want to get. It was this nasty gaming setup that had 4 monitors, headphones.
Oh damn!
It was a sick gaming setup with LED lights behind it and shit. It was dope. I was like, oh, I want that. It's probably $1 million bells, because that plate.
So earlier you were talking about the cooking, right?
Yes.
Did you say about anything of what some of that stuff is? Because there's new farming aspects to the game as well. To certain things that you can cook. Do you have anything on that?
The different types of ingredients? What do you mean? Well, yeah. Well, like I said, the one that they showed you in there was they showed someone they were planting sugarcane, tomatoes, potatoes, carrots, onions, stuff like that, and they were making, I think, minestrone soup or something. Okay. So there's I don't have a list of the recipes. I don't know if you have it of the different.
I don't have a list of the full. The only ones I can see are wheat, tomatoes, potatoes, and sugarcane.
Got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. So, it's that time of year, and I'm so excited. So something here that you've played this game, so you will probably love this. There's a new type of tool that you can craft, the wooden ladder setup kit, where you'll be able to permanently place ladders on cliffs. You purchase the DIY recipe from Nook's Cranny, so no more having to carry a freaking ladder on you to climb up, take it up. Yes, you can just take a ladder, put it up against a cliff, leave it there, never have to worry about it again.
Love it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Something that I didn't even remember was a thing, but Alex was thoroughly disappointed in that they've now fixed is narrow spaces. Now, when placed close together, you can sidestep through. So no more putting your furniture ridiculously far apart in order to be able to walk around it and use it.
Oh, nice.
So if you put a coffee table close to the couch, you'll see your person stand sideways and scoot through rather than like not be able to go there. So that's dope. Keeping up relationships is something they're focusing now with your other island residents. So they will now invite you to their home or make a visit to yours to show you certain things and do certain things.
See, that'd be one of the big things that I would need to work on. Like, I have all these people on my island, and then they go, "I think I should leave." No, you should stay. Okay, I'll stay. Like,
that's it. There's nothing.
And then that's it.
And then you do nothing to make them want to stay until eventually they want to leave again. They're like, no, stay. I promise. I promise.
You really feel that way about me when all you said was don't stay?
Yeah. So that is where I thought the Animal Crossing Direct was going to end. But no. That is just the end of the free part.
And that's what I was about to say.
Yes.
Let everybody know that everything we just talked about up until this point is free.
Which is great. There's nothing bad in there. And what I'm about to give you, which is the first paid DLC, I'm assuming it's not going to be the last, since they made it a point to say that what we just went through is the last major free upgrade. So now they said the last major, so I'm assuming they will patch in other free little things here and there. But as far
they
as
might do what they've done so far with going in, like you mean doing the wedding thing again,
the seasonal things,
seasonal
the bunny
stuff.
Day, goddamn them fucking eggs. But other than that, that's the last of it. So we get to our first paid DLC, which is a whopping 25 smackers. But with everything that they're giving you here, it's almost essentially like a brand new game. So considering the game itself is $60, $25 is not all that bad.
There is another way for you to get it, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
With the expansion. Yep. We will definitely talk about that. So the paid DLC for $25 is called Animal Crossing New Horizons Happy Home Paradise. That's available November 5th, 2021. Pre-orders start on October 29th on a Nintendo eShop. Full version of the game required to use the DLC. I'll talk about it now since we did just bring it up. So you can purchase from the eShop on its own or as a part of the expansion pack that we discussed during the Nintendo Direct, the expansion pack, which gives you the Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis games with it. So you can purchase either way. So purchasing from the eShop on its own or a part of the expansion pack. I forget the price of purchasing with the expansion pack. I believe it was $70.
I have it up here now. So if you are a single membership, the price is going to increase $30 to $49.99 a year. And with that, you will be getting the N64 expansion, the Sega Genesis expansion, and the Animal Crossing DLC. If you run it with a family plan used to run $35. Now it is going up to $80, $79.99 for the year. But once again, you get all that stuff as well as getting NES, SNES, and basically whatever other free stuff they want to go ahead and throw to you anyway.
And the N64.
Yeah,
and Sega Genesis.
Yeah, and now getting N64 and Sega Genesis.
So, I mean, think about this. Like, it sounds like a lot of money because it's Nintendo, but they are still, with all they're giving you, the cheapest yearly subscription, because you have
if you're doing single,
if you're doing single like me, yeah. So the single, like you said, will run you what, 50?
50.
So but $50 for the year.
At the same time, I keep on interrupting you today. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
At the same time, we pay $60 a year for
Sony,
the PlayStation and the Microsoft, but that's only a single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is no family plan, at least from what I know, for those systems. So going ahead and still getting a family plan for $80 for a year still isn't bad.
Yeah, and
where that myself, my wife, and my daughter, and then eventually my son, we all can go ahead and and run these things like crazy on our own separate accounts.
Yeah, and think about it. And again, I'm not knocking it because I have all of them. So, but the $60 that you pay for your PS Plus subscription, all you get is the ability to play online, party chat, and you get what, a couple free games a month,
into which most people don't even download.
That's it. To be able to go back and play PS2, PS3 games, you still need to have a PS Now subscription.
Yes.
To be able to play those. And then you look at Game Pass, while it's a great deal for Xbox because they give you a shitload of games, Game Pass Ultimate, $16 a month. So you're still talking about over $100 a year, well over $100 a year. Again, worth it because of all the games they give you. But if we're just sticking with price point, you're talking over 100. So now for a single player thing, you're talking $50. You get, the online shit to be able to play with your friends and the games you already have. Like you said, you get NES, SNES, N64, Sega Genesis, and now the expansion for Animal Crossing.
Yep.
So it's well worth it.
And on top of the recent information over the last few months of being able to enable Bluetooth on your Switch is another thing. It's now.
Absolutely.
Now it makes stuff a little bit better for being able to just play and not have to plug in and stuff like that.
Yeah. So to keep with the stuff you get, also the Amiibo cards, because the Amiibo cards are a big part of most people who play Animal Crossing. I personally haven't used them. You don't need them, but if you want certain characters, stuff like that, it's necessary. Series 5 will be available November 5th, 6 cards per pack. There will be 48 cards, including characters not previously available on Amiibo cards. So look out for that if you do use those. And now let's get into what this Happy Home Paradise is all about. And it's cool.
Please.
So now when you go to the airport, the DAL, the DAL, to fly to several other islands, you now have an option that says go to work. So we playing a video game and we working. So you click go to work, which is several islands known as the resort. It's a bunch of islands where characters go to find and build their dream vacation homes. After a reference from Tom Nook, you'll get access to the resort developer Paradise Planning. You'll be in charge of coordinating dream lifestyles for characters. The goal of Paradise Planning is to help characters acquire their dream vacation home. Characters will visit the island. Some examples they give are Maple. Maple's who they showed. She likes, she wants lots and lots of bears. She's a bear addict. So first, you can pick the island where the vacation home will be built. Each island has its own distinctive features, its own terrain, its own season.
Wow.
So you pick the one that would best match the request of the person, asking for the dream home, where they want to live, the type of things they're looking for. You plan around there. When you get to the island, you take a tour of the home. You can put designated furniture requested by the client in there, and after that, everything else is up to you. Recommended furniture from Paradise Planning will already be available. Pick what you want to use and start designing. Add lighting to the ceiling, add wallpaper, suggest ideas for the yard, place furniture, build fences, plant trees. The coolest thing, when you plant the trees, you can actually choose what stage of tree you actually want up there, so you can have different levels. You can choose to plant a full-grown tree, a half-grown tree, a tree stump, whatever you want.
Wow.
No planning and just waiting for it to grow. You pick however you want it. You can choose what stage: stump, sapling, medium mature, fully matured. You can create paths. Home locations and exteriors can be modified. You can modify the season, the time of day, the weather. You can modify all that stuff. As you design the vacation homes, you will acquire various design techniques. This is awesome. You will then be able to adjust the interior. You can make rooms bigger. You can change the width, the length. You can actually change the size of the rooms rather than just the standard shit that they give you.
That's nuts.
You can create partition walls to divide the spaces up. If you don't want to have just each thing be its own separate room, if you want to divide up your living room to, a family area and then an area for the kids or whatever, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be an open floor plan.
Absolutely. Counters with 2 different heights and pillars that support the ceiling. Lighting can be adjusted to enhance the mood. You can add soundscapes to add atmosphere to the rooms.
Wow.
Polishing. You can now polish your furniture and some effects may be added. So if you polish up something you got in there real nice, it might start sparkling for you. All sorts of stuff. Once you are done, now even though it doesn't feel like work because it's kind of fun to do all that stuff, once you're done work, you go back to the office and you get compensated. You get paid in Pokey, not bells. Pokey or Pocky? I'm going to call it Pokey. You can then use that to pick up rare furniture not available or super hard to find available in your own island shop. So you can purchase and take it home with you. Other lifestyle ideas: as you receive new requests, more furniture will become available. Can go back to old clients, make suggestions for remodeling. And with your recommendation, 2 clients can share a vacation home together. So you can kind of set up some roommates. Designing facilities. The island where Lottie's Paradise Planning Office is located has a lot of vacant buildings. So you can help Lottie design there as well, where you're essentially almost building a town. You design a schools, you design a restaurant, hospital. You can see others using the facilities you've designed after you're done. Using the very new Happy Home Network app, the vacation homes you design are captured in the app as photos and recorded in the Paradise Planning portfolio. To view, you just use your Nook phone. You can visit the homes of previous clients and see how they're doing after you set them up. Check back in with them. Connect to the internet, play online, and share your designs, and follow the designers you like and get inspiration. So you can show off your shit to other online people, see what they're doing.
That's some good customer service, though, being able to come back and being like, so how you feeling?
How you feeling? Is there anything else I can change for you? Yeah.
Now, there was one particular piece of furniture that people watching lost their ever-loving minds over. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't.
Apparently, there's a froggy chair that everyone is going bonkers about because it's finally coming back. Apparently, it's something that's been requested for a long time, and Nintendo finally snuck it back in.
Was it from a previous Animal Crossing game?
I think it might have been.
Okay. No, I actually did not notice that. I did not notice that.
Yeah, the froggy chair has made quite a splash.
Now, one thing, Amiibos and card figures, you can invite clients of your choosing, suggest home for these clients. So again, you can bring the Amiibos in and you can turn them into your clients and use them. Now, something that we were worried about that thank goodness they put to rest is the first thing that we thought when we saw all of this cool shit with the DLC was like, damn, doing this vacation home thing for this other people on this other island, it'd be so cool if you could do that shit on your own. Like, why do I have to do this shit? Why can I do this shit for other people but not, for myself? So connections with your home island, design techniques during paradise planning can be used on your island. So you can, once you learn them, you can build partition walls, counters, pillars, lighting and soundscapes. You can do all of that on your island. It's not just, you do it for work and then you come home and got your old janky shit that you had to build using their rules. You can come back and do it in your own.
Nice.
By gifting residents souvenirs from Paradise Planning, they can see what's on offer and may ask you to design them a vacation home themselves. So when you come show off that shit, whatever residents you got on your island might be like, hey, I like the idea of vacation home.
It looks good.
You might as well build one. Can you build one for me? And then eventually you can actually suggest home remodels to your own residents. So there's a lot going on there. But again, for $25, that is essentially a brand new game. It's a brand new game that then enhances your previous game because everything that you learn you can bring right back and then do to your own island.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I would have really loved from this entire direct is if we would get more animals or more fish, to be able to capture.
I thought about that as well, and that is something that I wondered if that would count as a free, if they would consider that one of the small free updates they would still be doing, add in some more fish here and there, some more bugs here and there. If not, it really wouldn't shock me. I doubt it'd be $25, but it wouldn't shock me if they threw out a $5, overhaul on, different fish, different bugs, stuff like that. A new wing that would be added to the museum. Stuff like that, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But I thought that the only two things and that was one of them. The only other thing that I thought would be a part of a big major overhaul would be giving you the option of a different camera angle. That would have been cool.
Yeah, that'd have been neat.
Not getting it isn't a deal breaker because they're still giving you so much. But that, and they packed all that in to I think a 23-minute Animal Crossing Direct.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot, but it looks like so much fun, and it's gonna be great if you've never played the game before and you hop in. You're gonna have so much stuff you can do. If you're someone that has played it a lot, like my wife and I have, it's giving you so much new stuff that you can kind of fall into the game all over again.
Yeah, like I'm excited to show Jess, all this stuff, because it might get her back into playing the game again. Because we just bought new Joy-Cons because ours were, my son broke one, so.
Oh.
So we went ahead, we bought some new Joy-Cons, so now we're, now she's able to go ahead and play and not have to deal with like a drift or the controller not working or whatever.
Beautiful. Yeah, but that's a lot of information. And again, I got to thank my wife because she didn't miss a beat. There's not one bit of information that was in that direct that I didn't give you.
Good work, Alex.
Yeah, she killed that. She's like, I feel like it's too much. I was like, I feel like it's perfect.
We always want to give all the information to our people.
Absolutely.
Crew members deserve it.
Absolutely.
So, we gave you the Animal Crossing Direct. Now let's give you news. Little bit of news. I mean, nothing like too crazy. So, I want to start off with the DC Games Suicide Squad, right? Kill the Justice League.
Yeah.
The one that has Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, King Shark, and Deadshot. Apparently, there is a phone number from the official game's Twitter that they gave out. And if you call that number, you will hear the leader of the Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller. You will hear her screaming at you about Harley Quinn giving out that number.
That's hilarious.
It is so cool. Like, I love that.
I want to call that number right now.
Yeah, so what you will hear, what you might hear is, I know this is you, Harley. I have given you weapons, resources, and full sign-off to execute the Justice League, and you're here spending my time on prank calls. Stop screwing around and take the targets down now. Yes. And you can only imagine how that sounds with a very, very intimidating person like Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, if you decide to text that number, you will receive a text message inviting you for opt-in for updates, which essentially is just basically continuously, texting you just nonsense.
Incredible.
So it's one of those things that to me, it just sounds hilarious. As we are currently doing this podcast, you have DC Fandom happening basically right now. So a lot of information about these DC games and everything else is going to be coming out real soon. It's probably going to be something we're going to talk about next week, at least in some aspects. So I am very, very happy to give that information later on. Again, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. It's going to be a 4-player co-op game to where you can choose to be either Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, or King Shark. And you can run this game with your friends, or you can have the AI go ahead and handle the other people while you run solo with the character of your choosing.
Yeah, I remember being super excited when we saw that initial trailer. Yeah.
So 9 years ago, all right, you know the game Spelunky, right?
Yes.
9 years ago.
Come out with Spelunky 2?
Huh?
Didn't we just see something for Spelunky 2?
Yeah, that just recently. That dropped a few months ago.
Yeah.
So 9 years ago in 2012, a player by the name of Barry Mode completed the original version of Spelunky in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Well, that's a speed run for you.
Setting the speed run record for the game that lasted for almost a decade. Now, here's the thing. When he was asked by a company called Waypoint, I believe they're journalists. When he was asked by them about him setting the record, he went ahead and revealed that he cheated. Now, the closest times that anybody has ever come to his speed run is 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, in speed run terms, 10 seconds is a huge margin.
Oh, absolutely.
So the way that he put it was, I do apologize for that deception. It was bad character, and I can admit that. And since he did speak to Waypoint, he decided to remove the clip of him, making this attempt on YouTube. So apparently what he did was that he was able to get the game to start him at level 2 instead of level 1, and was able to run through from level 2 on, and then he just added some vanilla version of level 1 to avoid detection.
Wow.
Yeah. So
cheater.
Yeah, it's just
cheater pumpkin eater.
Just don't fucking do that shit, man. It's fucking stupid.
Just don't cheat.
Just don't.
You that excited to get a world record that you got to cheat?
Just don't. That's all it is. Just don't.
Because you didn't get the world record if you cheated.
No. I'm curious on who actually did get it though. I need to look that up. You know what I mean? Now since his is completely gone.
Yeah.
Last thing I have has to do with something that happened earlier, I guess by the time this comes out, last week. So roughly this past Monday-ish, former head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, John Gruden, resigned. And the reason that he resigned is that it was found by the New York Times that he had emails that he had written to the head of football operations for the Washington football team, and he denounced the emergence of women as referees and drafting a gay player and the tolerance for players protesting during the national anthem, as well as also going ahead and using a very, very horrible racial slur about the NFL player union chief DeMaurice Smith. So all of this happened in 2011. And it's just now coming to light.
I feel like I know where you're about to go with this.
So EA Madden's so Madden 22's official Twitter page, they put out a comment and they went ahead and said EA Sports is committed to taking action in maintaining a culture of inclusion and equity. Due to circumstances of John Gruden's resignation, we are taking steps to remove him from Madden NFL 22. We will replace him with a generic likeness via a title update in the coming weeks. So he is getting scrubbed from Madden 2022.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, sir.
Look, man, we've said that there is no tolerance, no stand for any of that shit.
No, absolutely. And I don't rock with these people that are acting like this is a part of
the
cancel culture. It is not. Like there's a difference between, you know, like them trying to get a comedian canceled immediately for a distasteful joke, which is his job. It's his job to tell jokes. They're not always going to land. Sometimes you're going to piss people off and you may have to answer for it. Jumping to want them to be removed immediately is a little crazy, but your job as a coach to lead people is like, and you're out here talking about how women shouldn't be referees and we shouldn't be drafting gay players, and when you have one on your team, you have an openly gay player on your team, how do you think that kid feels?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's insane.
Nah, and then you know what I mean, like all of this happened when he was actually a commentator for Monday Night Football for ESPN. So let's go ahead and find out what's been going on as we tell you what we are playing.
I like that. Got me amped up.
I'll go first because mine is super simple. We can talk about Fun Friday. Yeah, no freaky.
But that was a good. They did. It was a good one.
Didn't mean it. But no, we can talk about Fun Friday when we talk about what you've been playing. So I've been running more in Fallout. I now start fighting the Scorch Beast Queen because I'm fairly high level, at least higher than the recommended fighter. So I keep on trying to do that to farm and get better gear. I have still been running through the storyline. The Brotherhood of Steel storyline is actually kind of cool. You're dealing with you're dealing with the Brotherhood, and somebody who is trying to do exactly what the elders say because it is for the Brotherhood is the right thing to do, and there's somebody else who is trying to go ahead and make their own path through the Brotherhood, but going ahead creating a what they think is going to be a better sect of the Brotherhood. So you're going ahead and kind of leaning and seeing which side you actually want to run with more. But other than that, I have not done much because kids. So so what you been playing, bro?
I get it, bro. Except for mine's singular. I only got one. So we'll end. We'll start with Fun Friday. F it. We had, Anthony had drill, and we were watching the first, the Flyers home opener, so we got to it a little late. And what do we do when the three of us can't play the Ascent? We just hop on some Chell, because as of right now, we don't have another option. And which would be cool, like I said, if we had something else to do, even for just the two.
Yeah,
but anyway,
you're right.
But anyway, we played chill. Took forever to get a couple games, and the 2 games we got were both against the same team. Team name You'll Enjoy My Selly. Was that it?
Yes.
Yeah. They only got 1 Selly in 2 games, and I didn't enjoy it. Yeah.
We wiped them motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
It went well.
We got, I believe, a little shutty stew in the first game, right?
Yes.
Got a little shutty stew in the first game, and then
In the second game, you got a penalty, which they got a goal off of, and then after that,
Yeah.
you said, you know something? Fuck y'all.
yeah,
And you turned it up.
yeah, we won. I forget. So I think we're 3-0 or 4-0 in the season.
3-0.
I don't remember. All right, 3-0 in the season. We only got 2 games. It was tough because I'm assuming with NHL 22 being out, it's just slim
Everybody's
pickings.
playing that.
Yeah, it's slim pickings finding people playing 21. So there was that. Now myself individually, I progressed a little bit further in Avengers.
Nice.
I am on the, I forget what the damn thing's called, that big ass fucking helicarrier, John, that Cap was on. I forget what they called it.
Pretty sure it's just the helicarrier.
No, but they had an actual name for it. It's like it was like a brand new one, whatever. But I'm on that thing, like trying to figure out what happened, and I'm, fucking up some aimbots, shit like that with my embiggen arms.
So you're still playing as Kamala?
I'm still Kamala, yeah. I'm still Kamala. I like, you have the opening sequence where you play as everybody,
Yes.
and then the story takes over as Kamala. And yeah, it's been. I have, I'm trying to not get, because you know how I feel. I'm trying to not get wrapped up in too many games, but the fact that the only sustained time that I know for a fact I have from this time to this time is when we play games together on Friday nights. Everything other than that is just, what can I squeak in, while the boy takes a nap, and never knowing how long it's going to be. So I don't want to start too many things. So I've been trying to get through as much Avengers as I can. But we talked about it on the last episode, how excited I am for Resident Evil Code Veronica X. That just came to Game Pass, so I started downloading that this morning. It's got to be done by now. So
Shit, it better be.
I may, yeah, it should be. I'm hardwired, so I may start messing around with that. I do. It sucks because I'm getting in that territory. The Avengers, I just want to finish, because if you guys decide to do it, I want to be able to play the
multiplayer.
the multiplayer together. So I am trying to finish the single player part of that. I also really want to get Resident Evil Village going, because I'm thoroughly enjoying that. But I'm probably gonna have to start that over at this point, because I'm only like 2 hours in, so no biggie. But I don't remember where the hell I've been, what I was looking for, what I was doing.
Ah, okay.
So I'm at a point now where I have a choice to make, and it's, Avengers is actually super easy to hop in and hop out. It's kind of tough to forget what you were doing there. It's fairly linear, so it's not like Resident Evil where there's 19 different locked doors and places you can go and stuff you had to get here to go there. So Avengers is something that I can kind of pick up and play whenever, and it's no biggie. I just have to decide what I want to do as far as picking a game and sticking with it, and it's either going to be Village or Code Veronica. And I'm thinking at this point that it's going to be Code Veronica, because it's only going to be on Game Pass. It's not on Game Pass technically. It's the Games with Gold.
Okay, then once you download it, then you're good.
Yeah. So yeah, there's and one thing we can start doing realistically, I would just have to pick one for you or me, is that until we're done the Ascent, if there's a week where we can't all play, it just gets switched back to Freaky Friday for one of us for a 2-hour stream.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who. There's two perfect games. One actually that I think would be perfect for either of us. I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to do it, because I thought when I go into mine, I was going to do Outlast 2, since I just finished Outlast. Feel like it makes sense for you. Like I said,
better
we had
way than to get freaked the fuck out than going back into psychosis.
Yeah, Resident Evil 3 would be perfect for you.
I was thinking,
but even if you didn't do that, there's two games. There's that Dark Pictures anthology game that's on there that we talked about. That's story mode ish, kind of like Until Dawn, which would be perfect. But there's also a game that I didn't even realize it was coming to Game Pass. I had seen it. Visage. It's called Visage, and it is a game that. Do you remember PT which was the playable teaser for Silent Hill that you and Matt played in my basement. That crazy thing where you're walking through that hyper-realistic house and all that crazy shit was happening. This is basically like the spiritual successor to that.
All right, looks like it has a 81% on Metacritic.
It's supposed to be quite good and pretty terrifying. So it is perfect for, and it's supposed to play up like the anxiety part of things, like the sounds and stuff like that. So it could be perfect.
Set in the 1980s, Visage centers on Dwayne Anderson, who finds himself trapped inside a large, seemingly deserted house with a bloody history. As he explores the rooms and halls, Dwayne is haunted by the surreal and terrifying remnants of the past as he uncovers the gruesome secrets that tie him to this place.
Yeah.
Is there any fighting in this, or is this basically just kind of like a narrative-driven?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
I'll do a little bit of research and I'll find out.
But I'm just saying that's it. Now, Resident Evil 3 is probably perfect because it gives you some combat, because the last game you played for Freaky Friday, there wasn't all that much combat.
Nah.
So at least you have a cool story and whatnot.
Look, man, I've come to really enjoy, narrative-based games. Especially watching Adrian from Unknown Games Podcast playing a bunch.
Yeah.
So, I have no issue with it. It's just one of those, to where it's just like, you really feel the story. So.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's it. That is it.
Word. So, let me tell you where you can find CGC. You can connect with CGC at our website, consolegamingcrew.com, or our email at consolegamingcrew@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @consolecrew. Our YouTube and Instagram are both Console Gaming Crew. We don't talk about Facebook because why the fuck should we? But if you do want to find us and many, many, many more content creators, podcasts, anything you want, trust me, you will find something here. BossRushGames.com. It is the Boss Rush Network. It is not, like I said before, it's not only us, but it is other podcasts. It is other content creators. They have great stuff that they put out. I've been a part of some of the other podcasts that are on the network. It's been a great time. Everybody in there is an absolute blast. So please check them out and check us out there. BossRushGames.com. You can also go ahead and find us on our Twitch, which is CGC Podcast. We have the Co-op Monday nights, which is myself. I throw down with some games with the boys. Never what we're going to do. A little Fallout, D&D. We see what happens. And then on Fridays, it is either going to be with the Three Musketeers on a fun Friday, maybe an individual on a Freaky Friday, or maybe I might just do a Miles Friday. We honestly don't know. Please come and find out to see what we're going to do.
All I could do was stare at you. I was fucking enamored.
Yeah. Look, man, I turned the voice on. What can I say?
I was enamored by you right there, bro. Like that was intense.
It was the M&M's talking.
What? Hey, man. Solid.
All right, so look, as always, I beg and plead for everybody who listens to this to make sure you stay safe, wash your hands, mask up, just be smart, and as always,
game on.
Game on, y'all. Peace. Be good.